What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and sounds like Zeus is outside right now. The storms of Narnia are upon us, but I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time on this beautiful Monday night. Anytime we're talking birds, it's beautiful. So thank you all for tuning in, whether you're watching this live, watching this later. It's sicko season. So we're going to be talking about everything under the sun, whether, certain opinions lead us to be talking about something we're excited about or something the Eagles could use work in. We've been going through it this entire off season here. So we've got less than a month left here before they're at training camp. So at least we have that. So hold on tight, ladies and gentlemen. 76 days away from game one, baby. So let's try to stay calm here. But let's get this thing rocking and rolling tonight. We're going to answer the question, do the Eagles need edge rusher depth? Now, a lot of talk about Yannick Ngakoue, Melvin Ingram. I've seen a lot of names thrown out there for the edge rusher position, talking about the Eagles needing some depth at edge rusher. So I would like to talk about that tonight and give you my opinion. Well, I think you guys know how I feel about this Eagles edge rushing group, defensive line as a whole. I think they're going to break this sack record. So I think me and the media got some differing opinions here, per usual. So we're going to jump into it. Let's get rocking and rolling here. Appreciate you tuning in, Swagger Make a Daddy. Let's go. I appreciate you, dude. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Let's go. DB's back. You're back. Let's ride. And hey, man. If anybody ever follows me and I'm not following back, I try to follow back everybody. I really do. But getting a lot of followers as of late. So really appreciate you guys and always down to talk some birds wherever the hell it may be. My man Twisted up in here. Let's effing go. Allison, appreciate you tuning in. I don't think he's washed, but I'm going to give my opinion on him in a second here. My man Marky Dan. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Ring the damn bell. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Hope you're having yourself a great start to your week. Holy hell, if this thing kicks me off, I truly apologize. But my God, of course, it like right before I went on, it started cracking. I was like, kind of hesitated to hit the music and, hit my music. So let's ride. We're here. Yo, appreciate you, Lil, my dude. Hope you're having a great Monday. Let's kick this off by looking at what Field Yates had to say. And this is via Eagles Wire. From Field Yates here, I know the Eagles have a premier pass rush and use their second first round pick on Nolan Smith to further that. But let's get greedy as it pertains to the top Super Bowl contender. Waves of depth are essential for a pass rush in the NFL, and Ngakoue is a sack specialist who can provide Philly what it felt Robert Quinn would bring when it acquired him last offseason. Ngakoue won't exactly come cheap, but you think I'm worried about the Eagles finding a way to make a move under the salary cap? He had 9.5 sacks and 29 pressures last season with the Colts. So he feels, the Eagles could add him, this, that, the other thing. Look, I'm here for you with the cap. We've got cap space. Do not fear. $13.85 million. We can sign anybody we want. We can trade for anybody we want. We've talked about this, but let's talk about if we want to. Do we need to? These are the things you need to look at. Now, it's not just Ngakoue that's out there. There are some good edge rushers. If you guys caught the free agent show it was last week, I think, to be honest with you, about a week ago. So go check that one out. But lots of free agents left at every position. But you can see the top 20 I have here at edge rusher. And look, some options here. But as I said during that show, I'm not so sure this is where I want the Eagles to spend their money. Let's take a look at the Eagles, what they have at the edge rusher position. So Sweat and Reddick, again, the starters. But you draft a Nolan Smith. Now he goes along with Brandon Graham. And, Derek Barnett is back. Now, I know he did not live up to the first round potential. A lot of people dislike the guy, but as the fifth edge rusher, man, he's not going to be getting many penalties, you hope. And you hope that with those few snaps he gets, he makes them count. So a lot of talent there, but you see the bottom row there. You got Patrick and Kyron Johnson, Janarius Robinson, Teron Jackson, Matt Leo. So these guys are going to have to be versatile in this defense. You're going to be playing some D-end, outside linebacker, moving all kinds of different schemes. I've shown you that. Go check out that defensive video. I will post it below. But I am very excited about this edge rush. And last season, we had 70 sacks, right? And that is tied for third in NFL history. Now, clearly, that is not all of our edge rushers. We had interior guys. We lost Javon Hargrave, who had 11 sacks. You had some other interior guys. Cox had 7. So a lot of other guys. But let's take a look at how these edge rushers did last season. And I only brought with the top 5 here that are going to be here this season and the top 3 stats from last year, because the other guys, whatever, it's not really much to look at. But you can see here, dominant. And, beyond Brandon Graham, you had Patrick Johnson and you had Robert Quinn. Okay. And Kyron Johnson saw a couple snaps, but not much. So didn't have like insane depth, but dude, we were very dominant. And you can see the top 3 there, having 11 sacks for both Sweat and Graham. Sweat missed a game, but dude, only one game. He stayed healthy predominantly, missing, I think, what was it, the final one for whatever. So who cares? But you see, dude, look at the amount of pressures: 41 for Reddick, 27 for Sweat, 21 for Graham. And BG had like 170 less snaps than Sweat. So again, these depth guys, they're going to get theirs. And Nolan Smith being the first round pick, I believe he can step in front of Brandon Graham here as that third edge rusher, but Brandon Graham's still going to see his. And then having Derek Barnett, you're not going to see him that much. You wouldn't need to, because you could see, as I had mentioned, the top 3 are really who is out there getting some. But I mean, when you look at this depth chart I've shown you, when you look at the edge rusher position, you have Sweat and Reddick, as starters, and behind him, Graham and Smith. That right there is like, holy and whoever wins the jobs then between Barnett and Robinson, the Johnson guys, Jackson, Leo, I think clearly you've got yourself quite a deep effing rotation there either way, right? So for me, I don't think you need to add anyone. And when you're looking at a premier position like the edge rusher, you have to understand that that's going to cost you some money. Just like Field Yates had mentioned, it's not something we have to worry about, but I'm not spending $7, $8, $9 million on an edge rusher when I'm loaded there. And, you could do whatever with giving him dummy years, making a small cap hit. You definitely could add to that room. You're worried about injuries, whatever. Okay, I totally would understand that. I'm not against it. But my thing is, you're looking at the top 51. That is what the salary cap consists of right now. Once the season begins, it consists of everything. All 53 on the roster, anybody on IR, the practice squad guys. So all that money, you're going to need a little bit extra. Now, you also want to have some chump change to play around with during the season in case anything happens. We like to have some to roll over sometimes. You don't have to, but it's not that you need to spend this money, right? So, and with Hurts extension, we talked about, it's not really hurting us like a lot of the media try to portray it, but you still want to have as much money as you can each year. So if we don't have to spend it, we're not going to. And if we're going to add anywhere, it's a trade for Budda Baker, or you're signing a linebacker, you're trading for a Patrick Queen, a Devin White. That's the only thing I'm spending that cap space on. I am not signing someone like Yannick Ngakoue, who's still got some left in the tank, and I think that he can provide something for a team. And I'm not so sure that he is going to want to sign for a team that I just showed you what we have. And Nolan Smith, oh my God, just because he's not starting, I've shown you this. When you look at the waves of this team, I showed you, the depth chart here. And if you count it up, there's 12 starters here. Obviously, that's not how things work. But I wanted you to see the 5-man front. And I want you to understand that, with the 4-man fronts, there's the nickel corner. And we play a lot of nickel. We'll play. I mean, you're going to see 50% of the time, we talked about 2 different schemes, and they're both, one's odd and one's even. So you're going to see both odd and even fronts. And I showed you those 2. I'll show you again right here. But this is what the front will look like. And when you got an interior like that, and those pieces will move around, I've told you, I think Milton Williams will eventually be getting more reps than Fletcher Cox, and he'll be providing a great depth piece just like Brandon Graham. It's not a knock on him, but you've got some effing studs here. And, talking about the edge rushers, my God, Sweat and Reddick. And then you compare Graham and Nolan Smith with either of them, and you can or take them both out. Whatever the hell you want to do, you can pair them up. And you're talking about how deep this room is. I made this graphic just to show. It's like, all right, dude, like you've got a 4th string, edge rusher line here. And that's not even considering you could go 5th with Teron Jackson and Matt Leo. So, geez, man, you've really got some great competition here. And I tried to split them up for the sides because, one side more playing defensive end, the other outside linebacker. But in this scheme, you really have to be able to do both. And, we've talked about that. It's left to right. And, a play can change. At one point, you're the strong side linebacker, and then you're the weak, so you're going to have to be able to do certain things. You're going to have to be able to put your hand in the dirt, become a defensive end, all that stuff. And what I mean by that is, you're talking about these odd fronts, and you can either see Sweat and Reddick standing up. They could be, hands in the dirt, whatever. But, I mean, that's scary as hell, right? But then when you put someone like Avonte Maddox on the field, you've got the 5 defensive backs, which you will see. Sean Desai ran that 26% of the time, the most. So in today's league, you're going to see that nickel cornerback in there. So you will see those 4-man fronts. And again, this team is, stacked. Their first 2 strings, their second string could be easily much better than a lot of teams have right now as starters. So for me, this team, the one area I'm not looking is the defensive line, and that's interior and the edge rushers. If I'm looking anywhere, it's linebacker, safety. We're perfectly fine on the defensive line and in the cornerback room. That's my opinion. But let me hear your thoughts. After showing you all of that stuff, how do you feel about that? Do you think the Eagles, if we're going to spend somewhere, it should be there? Or maybe you would bring in an Andre Roberts, get somebody that can kick return, bring in, some wide receiver depth to push Quez and Alameda. Maybe you get another tight end that can block. What would you add? Maybe a veteran guard, Dalton Reisner, still out there. Go check out that free agency show. There's a trade show. There's all kinds of players still available out there that the Eagles could add to get better. I just don't know that it's edge rusher that I think, if any position I'm not adding, it's probably edge rusher or quarterback. So, hey, it is what it is. Let them keep saying what they will. But Cap, dude's a dog. Look, these guys, he really is. But these guys we have, they're dogs, and they're real dogs too. And I think that, they're going to feast. And I do believe they and the interior are going to have themselves quite a season. Now, what? There was 11 from Sweat and Graham, and then you had, 16 from Reddick? So that's 38, right? Now, you're talking about 70 sacks there. So 32 belong to other players, right? Now, that's pretty good. Now, adding Nolan Smith to that equation, yeah, I don't need to add anything else. We added Nolan Smith. Derek Barnett is coming back. So to me, it already got better. We already added to that position. So it is what it is, man. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. We need more depth on the offensive line. Well, I think we got a lot of depth there. I think just the big question mark is Cam Jurgens or Tyler Steen going to win the job. And either way, I feel comfortable there. And having guys like Jack Driscoll here, Brett Toth, I think you've got veterans, Fred Johnson, Roderick Johnson. You've got Julian Good-Jones brought in here. I really like that undrafted kid, Trevor Reed. You have another undrafted kid in Chim Okorafor. So you've got some depth here. We'll see what happens with the Sills situation. There's a lot of question marks. But again, you could definitely add there someone like a Dalton Reisner who has starting experience. Maybe he really pushes those guys. So, yeah, a lot of positions you could add to. And I've had shows breaking that down. I'll make another one getting closer to training camp where we talk about where the Eagles could definitely look to add. But I'll be breaking all of it down, and we will always begin in the trenches. That's how you win championships, and we are stacked, baby. We are very, very stacked. And I like our wide receiver depth. A lot of young kids that are intriguing there, but I like Quez and Alameda at 3 and 4 there. So for me, I like the wide receiver position, but if you're going to add someone, I hope that they bring some kick returner experience. Derek Barnett. Oh, yeah, I like Derek Barnett. I think a lot of people sleep on him. Could see one of those guys being like Sue signing last year. Barnett isn't doing well. Well, Barnett is edge rusher 5. So I think if he's not doing well, then Janarius Robinson, Patrick Johnson, Kyron Johnson would beat him out. I don't think that you're going to spend $8-9 million on edge rusher 5. I just think that, if you're going to sign someone, it's probably either a starter or a, immediate backup, not somebody that's not even really going to see snaps. Now, last year we traded for Robert Quinn because we needed that 4th person, we felt. And you get not only that 4th person with Nolan Smith, but you get Derek Barnett back. So for me, yeah, you added some and then some. And I'm very intrigued because I like Patrick and Kyron Johnson. I'm intrigued by Janarius Robinson. So I'm excited about this depth we have here. And I at least want to see what we have in training camp. And I think the Eagles, I've stressed this over and over again. The Eagles last year, August 30th is when we traded for CJ Gardner-Johnson. So be patient here. We're going to see what we have in training camp in the preseason games, and then we'll go from there. But right now, I don't think edge rusher is an issue. You just got to stay healthy, and we'll see where we'll go from there. So, yeah. Well, if you get hurt anywhere, yeah, you're going to sign somewhere for sure. Barnett is great versus the run and get pressure. Yeah, man. I like Barnett. I like this whole team. Nolan Smith's great against the run. I think people are really sleeping on what this team is about to do. And I just found that very hilarious. And I'm going to stress it again that I think this Eagles team will break the NFL record. 73 sacks in one season. We're getting 70 effing 4 plus. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm all about here at On the Road to Victory. Watching this team, man, I'm telling you, you guys know that I've been, tuning in. I have been pointing out the fact that I think this team is building a dynasty. I think we're winning the Super Bowl this year, and it all begins in the trenches. So we got a stout offensive line, stout defensive line, and all the other pieces built around it. I'm very confident in this team, and I'm not changing that, and I cannot wait till the media jumps aboard. But until then, I'm going to keep body bagging them and laughing in their faces. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having yourselves a great Monday night. If you're watching this later or you're thinking some things later and you just want to comment on this, you want to talk some birds, please feel free to do so. I am always down to talk some birds. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a great Monday. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. It doesn't have to be about the birds. It can be about life, whatever is on your mind. But I really can't thank you all enough for all the kind words, for all the new subscribers. Welcome. And if there's ever anything you would like to see more of, we're getting through this sicko season, let me know. But go check out those playlists on my YouTube. There is one for sicko season now for all the random stuff. And then there's stuff for the roster, the cap space. That's Show Me the Money. Go check that one out. I know you guys will like that. And, coaching stuff, everything your heart could desire. You're bored. You want to know everything about the Eagles? I've got it for you. But tomorrow I'll be back. I've got a couple things planned out for this week. So we're going to get through this as best we possibly can. But, do that, my man. But I appreciate you reaching out. But I got to get rolling out here. Going to get to this damn store before it closes. But I want to thank each and every one of you. Stay safe if you're going out there. I'm about to go out, man, in this storm. And I'm not afraid of rain or anything, but man, that thunder is sounding pretty real right now. So maybe we'll get a little Twister action, take some live videos for you. But have yourselves a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe down below. But I want you all to have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!